speaking of South Texas, that area down there in San Antonio, Texas, our First Lady Jill Biden was there. She was speaking to the Latinx inclusion group, and she talked about how unique they were, and she compared them to breakfast tacos, which was an insulting comment, according to many of the Hispanics that live in that area. Listen.
Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is your strength.
Right, fantastic. So that there's a speechwriter now looking for work today at the White House. Just at Kinko's, getting got the resume
Clearly
updated.
Someone wrote that because she didn't know how to pronounce bodega. She said Bogotas.
But yeah, she should go over it, I guess, especially because there's so much at stake. Not necessarily with that speech, but they are bleeding Hispanic support. And Joe Biden in particular, more than any other Democrat, for some reason the Hispanics are not buying what he's selling. And the First Lady was supposed to be the savior in that situation or play an important role. Right. I would say that she hurt the brand.
Well, according to the Q poll, Brian, if we're going to talk about Joe Biden's ratings with Hispanics, last year he was at 55% approval with Hispanics. And the latest Q poll shows he is half that number. Actually, less than half that number. He's at 26%. But just the fact that Dr. Biden made those two mistakes, mispronouncing bodega and then talking about breakfast tacos, there are a lot of people who are, they're upset about it. The newest member of Congress, Congresswoman Flores, tweeted this out about the First Lady. They say they just don't get it. Latinos aren't buying their liberal pandering. We care about the rising costs of food, housing, gas, issues that impact Americans every day. No matter how loud they yell their made-up words, it won't change the reality of their failed policies.
Good for her. I mean, we all have cultural differences. We all, have different foods that we like depending on where we grow up or who our parents are. But we are all Americans, and these are the things that we care about. We care about the rising prices, and we care about inflation and our economy and our schools and our kids. And she's representing the Latino community. She won the special election in a highly Hispanic district, and she won the votes as a Republican. She was born in Mexico. She moved to San Antonio or in that area when she was, I believe, 6 years old, and now she is a congresswoman, the first Mexican-born congresswoman ever in America.
So the negative reviews kept flooding in. I'll give you some of them. Here's a tweet from Congressman Jimenez. He says the First Lady thinks Hispanics are as unique as breakfast tacos. Maybe that's true of Latinx people, but for real Hispanics, that's actually kind of insulting. You think so?
And then the National Association of Hispanic Journalists writes, using breakfast tacos to try to demonstrate the uniqueness of Latinos in San Antonio demonstrates a lack of cultural knowledge and sensitivity to the diversity of Latinos in the region. We are not tacos.
Right. That's probably a T-shirt in the making. We are not tacos. I think that it goes without saying, we are not tacos, First Lady.
Well, there you go. Yep. Right. I think she'd like a do-over on that whole trip. But then again, Joe Biden yesterday, when he was having his address on the South Lawn, he referred to the Florida Parkland shooting as happening in 1918. It happened in 2018. So a do-over on both those.
At least on that line, it didn't say in the prompt to repeat the line. Breakfast tacos, breakfast tacos.
Well, and if there's one day where she should know how to pronounce bodegas, it would be now, considering that that's been in the news with what happened here in New York.
Is she not following the shooting here in New York?
She would be if she's watching us. Good morning, First Lady. It's bodega.